Hello, Bill Molyneux here for Bill's Wargame World, and we're in Port Haywood, Virginia, at Bill's Boathouse Bunker. Oh, by the way, the Chesapeake Bay is right out there, and I'm here alone. Lisa wasn't up to coming down. She's still packing for the big move here in our new life as time progresses. Well, we had a lot of people requesting the Box Rebellion. So we're using Mark Fostisso's Box Rebellion Sword in the Flame scenario book. Now, Dave Reiners of New Jersey, he painted some of these figures, and so did the great Jim Shaw. So there's our Tiger Men. I'm sorry I don't have all of these flocked yet. In my world, I'm just so darn busy. Also, I cannot find my gunners. They must be at the other house. So we have some choppers. We have one small artillery piece, and there's our crew. And then we have fierce tiger men dressed in their tiger suits. And then we have 3 units there of melee weapons. And in the back, we have some musket men. And over here in the flank, we have musket boxers, righteous harmonious fists. And a big shout out to Little Wars TV, Greg, Miles, Tony, everyone there for hitting 100,000 subscribers. Amazing. Well, over here on this side, we have 3 units. You'll notice the Allies, Western forces, are 8 figures. Our boxers are 12. We have 3 British units. The United States Marines just sent a gun crew with a potato digger gun. Then we have a unit of French Foreign Legionnaire troops, and we have a Lewis gun with them. And then over here, we have our overall commander, and then we have Russians. And then over here, we have a unit of Japanese, which I believe Jim Shaw painted these. And our objective is, there is a woman being held prisoner in that building by Prince Tuan, and our forces need to get to the building and save her. Now, I'm not allowing the Prince Tuan is right here. We're not allowing him to take the captive away. Every turn we're going to roll, and on a D6, 1 unit will arrive of boxers on that road, but only on a roll of a 6. All right. Well, I'm going to put the camera in the tripod, and let's get going. Oh, rules, we're going to just use Bill's Beer and Pretzel Sword in the Flame modified rules. Okay, everyone. I got the dice off to the side of the table. I got the giant dice here too. I'll be moving the camera around like so. I won't try to do it too quickly. And we're going to roll to see who goes first. I put a tape measure and morale markers out. And I got another tape measure. And we'll use the Peter dice. So the Allies roll the 2. And the boxers rolled the 4. Low die goes first, so the Allies will move the Western forces. Okay. Now, I don't want this video to be forever, so I'm going to pause the camera here. Okay, here we go. And I roll, all the Western forces move 9 inches plus a D6, so now they're moving 10. We're going to call this ground here rough terrain. So they're going to lose 3 inches in the brown. We're going to just say it's like rice paddy stuff. Okay, and I don't have all my stuff from my other house yet. So these Japanese here, they only can move about 5 inches. Okay, and so that's where the Japanese have gone. And I probably will only move these units. I'm not going to have you watch me move everybody. And then our Russians. And you know, I don't know if you're aware of this, probably a lot of you are, The Russians and the Japanese do not get along. So having them near each other is probably not the best. We have our overall leaders going to hang back. The Legionnaires are going to move up 10. I didn't find my Highlanders. I was going to bring out some cool Highlanders in honor of Kevin. And also, Kevin does that great Irish brogue. And, recently we lost a great wargamer, Jim O'Neill from Scotland. He even got some Goober calendars and T-shirts from Scoots and Goober, and he was a real nice fella. He ran the War Game Facebook site. All right, now we're going to add 3 inches for being on the road in column, and so they're going to get all the way up here, and then the sergeant will yell, "They don't have a leader. My British unit doesn't have a leader, nor could I find one." So there we go. And our last unit's in the woods. So they're only going to move about 5 inches. So they're up to about to here. All right. Now I'm not flipping cards like Sword in the Flame. And I got to pause the camera here. I forgot to mention this. Walt Leach of the Chuckleheads, he gave me a batch of this black styrofoam. Well, I've been cutting it up and using it for hills. So Walt, thank you very much for this styrofoam. And friends are amazing, aren't they? And all of you that watch this channel are amazing. My wife and I have had a rough couple weeks, but we're doing fine, getting through everything. And I'm going back to Saturday morning after when I leave here. I'll zip right up and get back with her. All right, let's see how the boxers are going to move. There, I think I got everybody in sight. And now some of them are hidden behind the hills. And we roll the 4. So they move 12 plus their 4 for 16. And they ignore terrain. And I'm drinking a Goober beer, a Foster's. I'm not driving today. All right, here we go. Now, the Mark Fastoso Boxer Rebellion scenario book is very cool. And Dr. Roy Jones did the Zulu one. Now, Roxanne Panton did, I think, the Indian Mutiny. These figures are hidden behind a hill. This group is going to shuffle around down to here. And our Western forces have no cannon. So they only have the machine gun and a Lewis gun. The Lewis gun, by the way, isn't quite right for this time period. But Josh 3D printed them for me. And there's no way we're not going to use them. All right. I think Donald Featherstone, one of my wargaming idols, would have said that's no big deal either. I don't know. All right. Our boxers have moved. We're now going to see about firing. All right. Our British unit here can fire. And I'm not trying to roll a lot of dice on the table. I know some people get frustrated with that. We have, and I have to find my casualty markers. Where did I put them? Oh my goodness. I'll pause the camera while I search for them. This is real-time wargaming. Okay, our Western forces we found our poker chips. Red is for figures killed, and our white will be morale check. And at that range, they hit on 5 and 6s. And let's see here. We got 2 hits, and the boxers took 2 hits. They're in the open though, so they do get 6s to save. No and no. All right. And they get a white marker as a morale marker. Okay. So first blood. There we go. Let's go on to turn 2. Okay, for turn 2, the Western forces won the initiative. They have to move first. And their bonus is 3 plus 9. 9. They can go 11 inches. So he's out to there. So Kevin of the Chuckleheads and Derek and Walt and everyone of the Gettysburg area gamers that are still alive, Josh and Jim Shaw and Tim, they've been fantastic with the issues going on in my life, and it's awesome. And Josh on wcleather@yahoo.com is still selling a lot of my board games. So, and don't forget, this video is helping to raise money for the Blue and the Gray Education Society with Wade Sokolowski, and that's I think when I'm retired, I'm going to see about what it takes to help be a volunteer or whatever, even though I'm in Port Haywood, Virginia. I don't know. I don't know if Wade would take me. We'll see. We're bringing up the Legion. I'll pause the camera so I won't be in the way. All right, everybody. We've got the potato digger gun is moved. The rice paddy guys and the Russians and Japanese are having a real tough time getting through that. Probably should put them on the flank. And we're going to go ahead and move our boxers get an extra die if they're in charging range. Right now, those are regular boxers, so they will fail their morale check on a 5 or a 6. And they rolled a 3, so they're fine. Okay, Tiger men are better. All the British Western forces, they only fail on a 6. And all right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pre-measure. Since it's my boathouse and game, I'm going to see how far I am if I can charge. The bridge takes 6 inches to cross, or I mean, going across the river. 24, boy, 12 plus 6 is 18, and then their bonus for charging, 18 and 5, they can go, they can't make it, even with the charge bonus. But we will get them ready for next turn. I'm going to pause the camera and move everybody. All right, the Righteous Harmonious Fists have moved. We're going to do firing, and that unit doesn't take too much damage. They will be able to charge next turn. I have everyone else waiting for the big attack. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and resolve combat and come back to you. Oh, the artillery piece, by the way, has a maximum range of 48 inches. He needs 6s to hit a 4 dice over 24 and 4, 5, or 6 under 24. Let's go ahead and fire 4 dice, needing 6s on. Let's go for this British regiment here. And I won't walk over to where the other dice is. I'll just use a big styrofoam. We got 2 hits and 2 misses. All right, the British took 2 hits from that darn cannon right here. That's not so good, is it? And they get a morale marker. Okay. Well, let's open up with, there's no boxer. Boxers only have a range of 24 maximum. So, and they need 6s anyhow. All right, I'm going to pause the camera and fire these guys. Okay, well, our British lost 2 figures in a morale check. Our boxers got hammered by Lewis gun. The potato digger gun moved, so it couldn't fire. It moved everything. It moved half it could set up and fire. But between the Legionnaire and the British, even with a couple save throws, and then our Tigermen got hit, and they lost one figure in a morale check at long range by our British. And I'm going to get the Japanese and Russians out of that darn rice paddy. They're just bogged down. All right, next turn. Okay, our boxers won the die roll, but I'm going to get a sip of my Foster's beer. Okay, we have 2 morale checks, and the Tigermen only can fail on a 6, and the other unit fails on a 4, 5, or 6. They're down a base, and they're going to run away. They need a white marker, and they run. And they run their full 12 backwards with a white marker, and 2 more are dead. They lose a marker point for every time they lose a base. So, 5 or 6, they lost a base. It's a 4, 5, or 6. Wow. Okay. Oh, we have this unit to check. Okay. And they're Tigermen. They're fine. I forgot. They didn't roll a 6. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move everything and come back to you. Okay, everyone. And again, Dave Reiser of New Jersey painted some of these figures, and so did the great Jim Shaw. Anyhow, we moved the boxers back. The back units are hidden behind a hill. I moved the Tigermen back. They'll just get slaughtered if they come out here. I need to hit these guys with a full mass charge. And the other thing is we didn't roll to see if they get any reinforcements. I forgot. I don't have Kevin and Mike and Watt here and Joe. And we rolled for 2 turns, and no more boxers yet have arrived. So that's where we're at. And now our Western player is going to move. And this is very relaxing. It's been a very hectic time packing and moving. I'm going to pause the camera and go ahead and move them. Okay, everybody. I'm very excited. I've taken the Russians out of the rice paddies, and the Japanese are sort of out on their own over here. All right. Hopefully they'll be okay. And we will see. All right. I'm going to go ahead and resolve firing and come back to you, so this video won't be 3 hours long. I don't know. I don't have anything planned tonight, so this can go for a while. I'll pause the camera here and start blazing away. I'm going to fire the cannon, though, at the same British unit that took a hit before. 3, and no hits. Oh, by the way, there's the die. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and resolve the rest of the firing. Okay, our artillery piece, and I didn't check for that leader. Let's see if he got killed. Yes, he did. I rolled a 6. So we did lose a leader, so they don't get the +1. They lost two figures, so they can no longer move it, but they can still fire it. They get down to 1 figure, it gets removed, and the unit that was there got annihilated. And why, you ask? Well, I had British troops, I had the French Foreign Legionnaires blazing away with a Lewis gun. All right, let's go on to the next turn. All right, Prince Tuan is screaming for reinforcements, and I just rolled the die, and he gets 1 unit at the road. All right, well, Prince Tuan, by the way, in the movie 55 Days at Peking, the actor Prince Tuan was a very famous dancer, and he also was the child catcher in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, if you didn't know that. And in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, that crazy wagon that he drove that was a cage went out of control, and he had to jump off of it. And because he was so nimble, being a professional dancer, he did not get hurt jumping off the wagon or anything else. So, all right, we got Prince Tuan's next unit on the board. And what do you say we pause the camera here and find out who's moving first? Okay, the Allies are moving first, and they got to get to that building to save the, we're going to say it's Lisa the missionary. All right, so put a little fun in my game, and somewhere, oh, this will be Kevin, Colonel Handsome. Bruce in New Jersey will make you the French Foreign Legionnaire commander. And Ronald McDonald, I don't know if you're watching still in England, but we'll make you this British officer. And I know E4 Airman in Ohio writes to me a lot. We'll have him be the Russian commander. All right. And I haven't heard from Kim Metis in a while. I hope he's doing okay. And so we're going to, the British have just, we got to get to that building. So I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet and go out there. Okay, our Western forces have moved. The Japanese have moved up. And I also need to mention, these Russians, believe it or not, I painted these with my poor eyesight. And they're not the best, okay? But from 3-4 feet away, they look fine. All right. By the way, if you're in Kinston, North Carolina, this video is helping to raise you money, because December 31st, all the money raised from this will get put in my General Mills We Give program, and it'll get doubled. So we're going to move the Boxers. Righteous, Harmonious Fists are going next. All right. And I think I'll let the camera run. Let's see what their bonus movement is. Their bonus is a 4. So 4 plus 12, then go 16. Well, it's time to see if we can pop off a few Japanese. I don't think I'm close enough, but we're sure getting ready for the big charge. And I don't know what you can see, but we're going to, I use 2 tripods, one here, one at the Baltimore house. I'm not sure which one's better. All right, so we have Boxers here. Really should have these in clumps. And Prince Tuan has our Lisa the missionary in there. Okay, that's it for my Chinese movement. Boxers they're waiting for the Westerns to approach. Okay, I forgot to turn the camera on. The artillery piece, the Boxer artillery piece fired, didn't hit anything. All right, and the Boxers on the far right. My firing is simultaneous, by the way. There we go. They're going to fire. I'm going to pause the camera. All right, the Japanese took one loss. They got a morale check and one dead soldier there. All right, and that's it for the Chinese firing. I didn't remove him because he gets to fire back. And well, I'll change our camera angle. All right, our Japanese scored 3 hits, no saving throws, and we got 3 poker chips and a morale marker. Okay, now the only thing that can be seen on the other side is that gun crew. Let's go over there and see if we can take it out. All right, the gun crew, let's see if we're under 20. Okay, we're under 24 there. Lewis gun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'm going to go ahead and roll and then come back to you so it's not forever. Well, you can make fun of me. You can make fun of me because it didn't take forever to get 2 hits on that gun crew. All right, let's go on to another turn. And the Chinese have a 3. The Westerns go first with a 1. And let's see, their bonus move is a 6. We rolled the 6, everyone. And there it is. So 6 plus 9, we're going 15 inches. And I'm going to pause the camera. You know what? I'm not pausing the camera. Let's take it over the other side. Okay, we got to do this morale check. And anything but a 6. The leader is still there. They can't fail. All right. And yes, I checked for the leader. And you know what? They're going to charge. They need a 6 to charge them. And they're going in because we have plenty of movement. Even with the stream, we got the little bridge. Oh, we got to do a morale check on our boxers for being charged, which boxers don't like being charged with the bayonet. So for them to hold, I got to look at my chart. Hold on. Boxers holding. Boxers holding. Here we go. Boxers holding, they need a 5 or a 6. Being charged, they're they don't like being charged. They take 1d6 half, rounded up. They lose 2 more figures. So 1, 2, and then 1 goes to here. They keep the morale marker. We got to see if the leader's been killed. And 6 with the leader, and we rolled a 4. Okay, I pause the camera. Okay, everyone. The Japanese have driven them back. What do you think of that? And I hope they're not hanging out on this flank all alone, but we will see. And all right, I'm going to go ahead and move the rest of our allied forces. All right, I made a decision to leave the machine gun there so it could fire up that hill. It'll be at a longer range. I have a nice little defensive perimeter started. The Russians had to cross the stream, so they're sort of bogged down. And we're going to go ahead and move our boxers and see about charging and so forth. All right, their bonus die roll for their 12-inch movement. Well, we got a 5, so that's 15 inches. And I'm going to charge, 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 and charge all across the board. And to charge with boxes, anything. Okay, good, good, good. And the 4th one is good. So all 4 can charge. So here they go. And I'm going to pause the camera. We got to see what their bonus movement for charging. 17 and 5, 22. Okay, the entire line's being hit from here on the Legionnaires with this unit here, here, and here. The machine gun, the potato digger, that's over there. And that can help see if we can hit any of them. The boxer musketmen that just failed their melee test, they're running away still. And I've also moved up our boxer musketmen, and we forgot to roll. Let's see if we get a 6 for more Prince Tuan guys, and we rolled a 2. Okay, we got to save Lisa, the missionary. We got to try to, if we don't drive some of these boxers back, they do melee pretty good, especially the Tigermen. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fire and see how we do. Okay, everyone, welcome back. We had some massive shooting going on. Really quick, this unit took 2 casualties. Morale check, they got to pass before they go in. The boxers, Tigermen, lost a base and 3 more kills. Now, the British unit here. I didn't roll a single, well, I was going to swear there. They didn't roll a single hit. So they're going to get zapped. Now the Legion, they killed off a base along with the machine gun helping out. That's over there. And then 2 more kills. And so I'm going to go ahead and roll all these morale checks and come back to you. Okay, well, we have a Boxer unit there that fled. I guess the machine gun and the Legionnaires were too much. The Tigermen, believe it or not, their leader did not die, and they're coming in still. They only have 5 figures, and this unit over here, it ran off, even though it had all 3 bases. So let's resolve our melee. Okay, so I'm going to come back to you. Oh, my melee is not figure to figure. We have 5 figures here. Tigermen kill on 3 through 6. There's a 4, 5. So I'll go ahead and roll with the regular dice. I'll come back to you. Well, everyone, the Tigermen took out almost a full unit of British infantry there. Okay, and then that unit that didn't get damaged at all rolled quite well and took out everything. They lost 4 figures and another figure, I think it is, for 5. They won the melee. They're moving in, and I don't know. It's a lot will determine on the next turn, and our Japanese troops may need to come over and help out in the center. Let's pause the camera and see who moves first and do our morale checks then. Okay, our Boxers are going first. Let's see if they're going to get reinforcements and also their bonus roll. So they get a reinforcement unit. Oh no, they rolled a 6. Well, we're not giving them Tigermen, that's for sure. So, okay. Well, now let's get their bonus movement. 3. And I have some morale checks. I'm going to come back to you. Much of Prince Tuan's Boxers failed their darn morale checks. That unit's running still. The musketmen way over there failed. That unit failed. So we're going to see about charging with the Tigermen. But they're down 1 base, and they don't make it. They're stalled. And this unit here, let's see how they do. And they're stalled. All right, so I have Boxers that won't move and charge. This is going to be bad. I guess I need to do a morale check for this British unit here. That failed. And they're down 1 base, so anything, we rolled a 6. All right, so everyone in England, we have a regiment that just couldn't roll the hit. Now we have a company that just can't roll their morale to save their lives. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move our Western forces. Okay, everyone, everyone's been moved. As you can see, the Russians. Now, if I had not declared charges, I could have moved them away in normal movement, but because I declared I wanted to charge, they're like stalled there. They're just going to get slaughtered. And we have a British unit that sees Prince Tuan. So, okay. Well, let's go ahead and I don't see any Boxers that can shoot other than that one right there. I'll check the range. I'll come back to you. Okay, our Boxer musketmen actually hit 2 Legionnaires, but they get the fire back. Our Japanese are there. Now the machine gun team had across the river and set up. They can't fire this turn. Okay, and I guess I should have my company about face there. And I think these Tigermen and that remnant of a unit there will get wiped out. I'll pause the camera here. All right, the Tiger Men are finally gone. And that other unit that was here, they've retreated back to here, and they're down to one figure, I think. Now they have two figures. Their leader is still alive, and the Boxer Army is chopped up. I don't think they are going to be able to stop Prince Tuan, even though we have that one unit. I'm going to go ahead and do the next turn and see what happens. All right, I'm a little frustrated. I thought I had the camera turned on, and I didn't. So this is what happened with the Boxers moved first. They got no reinforcements other than the unit from last turn. Prince Tuan has left the building, and Lisa the missionary's tied up inside, and his whole army is in disarray, and they're all running. The musket men are still there. I moved them behind the wall, and they're going to give support so Prince Tuan does not perish. So our Western forces now would move, and we got to do a morale check on this British unit, and it passed. All right, I also sent the overall leader. There's our overall leader. And by the way, tell me what you think of my work with this tripod compared to the one at the Baltimore house. They're both different. This one has a lot more gadgets to move things around. All right. All of these troops can move, but we need to see what our bonus die roll is. So we're moving our 9 inches, and we rolled 9, 10, 11. So they're right down in here to save Lisa. So the Boxers are driven back. Okay, everyone. 55 days at Peking. It was not a quick little battle, and I want to say thank you for watching. I really needed a couple hours of downtime. I moved some stuff down today. Lisa's at the house in Baltimore with some relatives packing again, and this is just a fun diversion for a few hours. And I want to say again to Little Wars TV, congratulations, Greg, Tony, Miles, and everyone there for hitting 100,000 subscribers. Quite amazing. And also, I'd like to say, don't forget, when you watch my channel, Bill's Wargame World or Bill's History World, you're helping make money to help the Blue and Gray Education Society. And they do great work. When the Battlefield Trust comes in and buys that land of a battlefield, they come in and help put up the signs and the trails and that kind of stuff. Look them up on the internet. And Wade Sokolowski, sorry about the pronunciation. I'm on my second Foster's beer right now. He does a great job too. All right. I miss all my Chucklehead friends. I hope within the next month my life will get back to normal. I will be at Fall In another week or so. We'll be announcing the Goober calendar. Stay safe, be kind, be courteous, and no matter what's going on in your life, stay positive. Thank you again, everyone. And Kevin, be true to your school.